in the wrong key.
Watch closely now.
When do you do the show? I'd like to go to Jason's Valentine's Day party.
The magician will help you escape from the light in the dark. You're gonna go away, secure in the fact that you won't let me go.
Phoenix, 1976, March and Adams Supermarket. Thank you, Barbara.
You can't play Congress? Barbra Streisand, the biggest female box office draw in the world. The only woman who can get advance backing for whatever theatrical venture she undertakes. Now about to appear in the 1976 version of A Star is Born. She is not only the star of the film, but also the executive producer. She contributed 2 of the songs. She was involved in the editing and directing. And if she could, one critic said, she'd run the projection machine in your local theater, and she'd sell you the popcorn. The producer of A Star is Born is a fellow named John Peters, half Italian, half Cherokee Indian, an extremely successful hairdresser who had a chain of shops all over Los Angeles when Barbara met him 3 years ago. Now they live together on this ranch in Southern California. John Peters is her lover, her best friend, her producer, and some say her possible ruination. But Barbara says he's the strongest and most creative man she's ever known. Hairdresser, producer, Svengali. See for yourself. Hello. Hi. I hope you didn't hear what I just said about you.
No,
No?
I didn't.
I'll tell you then.
Okay.
Look, you're very smart. And you know what some people have been saying about you. That you're a hairdresser, that you never produced a film in your life, that you're a hustler who latched onto a star. How do you feel about it, these things, when you read these things?
Well, you know, sometimes, a lot of the time it's very painful, but a lot of it's very true. I am a hairdresser. I was a hairdresser or have been a hairdresser for 17 years. And I'm also a hustler in that I hustled my whole life to get what I want to do for my life. And as far as latching onto a star, it's true that from the professional side, I could have never produced this movie without Barbara.
But do you feel any good? Look, Ma, I'm a producer.
I think I'm great.
Why?
Because I work hard, and I have certain basic instincts that I think apply to, and specifically apply to the movie business.
What?
My taste, my ideas, sense of story, and my own particular feelings about other talented people and wanting to work with them.
How do you know that you're not going to ruin Barbra Streisand?
Well, because I'm not in control of Barbra Streisand. I mean, all Barbara and I do together, how we work together, is I make suggestions and give her my opinions, and she makes her own decisions.
Who are you? I hear that, well, let me tell you a little bit of what I know. Your father died when you were 8. You were a bad kid. You were in reform school. Is that true?
Well, I was never a bad kid.
I know, there are no bad kids. There are just bad parents.
No. I was a troubled kid, but I don't consider myself bad.
Were you in reform school?
Yeah, I was in juvenile hall and road camp.
Why?
For being incorrigible.
Then what?
One summer, my mother, my family was in the beauty business. She said, listen, how'd you like to go to beauty school during the summer? And I loved that because when she took me to sign up, there were so many beautiful girls walking around. I thought it was a great place to spend the summer.
How old were you?
I was 13.
So you became a hairdresser?
I started beauty school, yeah, just like around my 13th birthday. I went to beauty school, and I never went back to real school when the semester started.
What I'm getting, I mean, here is this kid, troubled, bad, whatever. When did you straighten out?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I haven't straightened out yet. It's just different.
I'm trying to make you look good, and you're not helping me. Should we go now and meet, what do I say? If not your better half, your equal half?
Yeah.
Think the lady's ready?
Yeah, I think
okay.
She might be ready right now.
Oh, John, it's nice.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I'll go upstairs and see if Barbara's ready.
Hi. Well, how are you? Thank you. Very continental.
I feel like Loretta Young with that entrance.
I know what you mean, yeah. Listen, this place is terrific. It really is.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
But I don't want to hurt your feelings, though. But when I knew that I was coming to the ranch, I expected, a ranch, a mansion. This is very small.
Well, this way we can keep it clean ourselves, you know what I mean?
It's kind of like a barn.
Yeah, actually, it's only about 5 rooms, isn't it?
Don't answer the phone. We'll let her wait until we're finished.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Whoever it is, I'll just have to wait for us, okay?
You want to see the restaurant?
Yeah. Could we?
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful.
You want to start with the garden?
Sure.
Come on.
3 years ago, when it was a question of your house or mine, Barbra Streisand and Jon Peters decided neither. It was to be a new lifestyle for both. He sold his lucrative hairdressing salons for 6 figures. She ignored her palatial home in Beverly Hills, and they bought the ranch in Southern California. She plants vegetables and flowers. She knows every Latin name for every flower. He plants pine trees to preserve the hills, he says, to help get rid of his hostility, she says. There are 1,000 newly planted pine trees on the ranch. There are also signs of affluence, tennis courts, an Art Deco swimming pool, the outdoor jacuzzi, a whirlpool bath built by Jon Peters for Barbra Streisand to bathe al fresco, a statue from the set of Funny Lady. The horse is the only one on the ranch. He's 14 years old and came with the property. Mr. Bush is a refugee from Poland in Siberian camps. He helps John maintain and improve the grounds around the house. Mrs. Bush helps Barbara with the household chores. The kitchen is smaller than the one I had in Brooklyn, Barbra Streisand told me. The rest of the house is dominated by the family room and bits and pieces from Barbara's famous Art Deco collection. She feels comfortable with her treasures near, a Tiffany lamp, a beaded bag, a stone head. The inevitable fireplace is a symbol of Hollywood. The flames can be turned on and off with a flick of the gas jet. Their bedroom, homemade pillows and quilts. A Jon Peters puppet. A Barbra puppet. A hat from Funny Girl. Like second-hand Rose, she buys her interesting clothes in antique shops, her satin shoes, her fan collection. This is Barbara's bathroom, built with loving hands by Jon Peters, of rough stones with Victorian flowers, her private bath, and her public bath, Streisand and Chris Christopherson in a scene from A Star is Born. John, when you saw Barbara in that bathtub with Chris Christopherson, were you jealous?
Sure, I made him put underpants on in the bathtub.
That's the extent of your jealousy. That's pretty good jealousy.
We used to work out what I can or can't do in a film. He was very
Did you
jealous.
go out with Christopherson at one
Yeah,
time?
years ago.
And you were very jealous.
Well, I wasn't jealous. It was just I was careful to where the hand was going and where it wasn't
You were
going.
jealous. What are you saying?
Yeah,
You weren't jealous.
I was jealous.
John, do you remember your first impression when you met Barbra Streisand? Because we've heard the different stories about how'd you meet?
Well, it was actually very funny because it was...
It started...
It was cosmic.
First, what happened is I knew...
Does he ever let you finish your sentence?
No, because I'll
Certainly it's interesting the way
I'll
you're
start
running him and walking all over him, right? Yes.
I'll start the first half, and
Okay.
because that's how I started the relationship. How we met was that I knew some people that were working with her on a show, and I said to them that I would like to cut her hair, and I would go any place at any time for free in the world to cut her hair.
All he had to say was for free. Yes.
And then, so she figured she would get a bargain, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
But,
No, that's not the whole
so
story.
I went to Europe.
I don't think you two are ever going to make it.
Hurry up. Finish cooking because I have to...
I went to Europe to work on something, this project that I was doing, and I got a call that she had called for me to cut her hair for this particular film. And
the reason why was because I was doing a film where I wanted to have a boy's haircut, and I was at a party, and I saw a woman with this exact haircut that I wanted for the movie, and I said, "Who did your hair?" And she said, "Jon Peters." And it was really, you know,
Okay. So
totally
then you came
coincidental.
one
So I
day.
came back and I called her on the telephone and I said, hey, I'm John Peters, I'm back. You want to see me? I want to cut your hair. She said, yeah. I said, I'll see you at 4. She said 2. I said 2:15. And she said 2:30, and I went.
Yeah, and then?
We negotiated a time or whatever.
Right.
And then she kept me waiting
And
for
then?
like a half an hour.
An hour.
An hour.
On purpose?
So I got angry. And just as I was getting angry enough to leave because I wanted to see her, she came down. And I really, truthfully, expected a kind of very big woman, and this little girl walked in. And I was taken aback by her
There was this
her
gorgeous
ass.
girl.
Because,
Oh.
because I remember when she turned around and walked away. So you know.
For heaven's sake. Anyway. You know, when I was, earlier I was reading the credits of what you did in the film, you know, executive producer and the musical concepts and starring and so on. And I think if it's said about you, people say, who does she think she is?
No.
I'm not so sure that if you were a man, they wouldn't say Orson Welles.
Yeah, but let me respond to that, okay? Let me just respond to that one particular thing. In this particular case, Barbara's involvement on all of these areas were because she had to be in those areas. Barbara had to work with the concept. If it hadn't been for her in those areas, we never would have made this movie.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Right.
Did that scare you?
Yes, enormously at the beginning. But I think I'm grown up enough to assume that responsibility. I mean, it's an adult thing to do.
Listen, it's kind of the popular thing to look for the bad things rather than the good things. The press is very tough on you.
I think it makes better reading, you know, to read nasty things.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. There is a criticism because you do so much, because you are such a perfectionist, and it comes out that you're a prima donna, that you are a tough, difficult lady. Now, is it because you're a prima donna and you're a tough, difficult lady? Is it because you're a woman? Is it what?
You see, it's because I'm a woman, because they say all these things about me. I mean, you open your show with something about being financeable, or you set me up. Everybody sets me up to be a target.
Do you get mad then when you
Well,
read the kind of stuff that I am now talking about?
Unfortunately, it disturbs me because if it colors one person's opinion of the film or any piece of work you're involved with, you know, because they say, hey, I read about this, and it doesn't look like she's like that, but, you know, if their mind is off on another tangent, that I find destructive, you know, and it's unfortunate. When a performer is a big timer, I don't know how to call, I hate the word superstar, I hate that word. People want to feel like they can control your destiny, meaning, I made you a star,
That
I
line
can
in
break
the movie,
you.
there's a line in the movie where the man sits down at the table and says
Right.
to Christopherson, sing.
Right, sing.
I paid for you, sing.
He
Was
said,
it-
okay, I bought all your albums. I pay for the clothes on your back. Now get up there and sing a song for Sheila, who just said, I thought he was lousy on the TV.
Do you feel sometimes that people feel that about you?
People can be very cruel. People coming in back of me saying, hey, your nose is not that big. Are you Barbra Streisand? You look like Barbra Streisand. Hey, you look pretty good in person, or you look better. You know what I mean? They treat performers sometimes as if they're not alive, as if they're a piece of celluloid on a screen. It's a painful feeling because it's like, I'm a human being, you know? And maybe it will probably never be different because I refuse to play those games. I'm really interested in work. Work interests me.
And in your work, you can be tough and you can be strong.
My work is what I care about. I don't understand the other side of it. You know, people getting angry because you won't sign an autograph. Somebody in an interview once asked me about who did I want to be when I was a little girl? Did I want to be a famous movie star? And I said, I remember seeing Gone with the Wind, and I wanted to be Scarlett O'Hara, not Vivian Leigh. I always wanted to be the characters in the movies, not the actress.
Barbara, in the film, you do a live concert. I mean, it really is a live concert in front of thousands of people. Do you like to sing?
I like to sing private. I like to sing in, in records because it's private. You don't have to be judged instantly. You don't have to wait for applause or not applause.
Yet you came out in front of those 50,000 people, 60, 70,000.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I mean, I know how I am when I'm in the audience watching you. When you get out and you see those people, what's it feel like?
It's frightening. Absolutely frightening. I mean, the last time I did a concert for McGovern, I was so frightened. You know, I carried all my lyrics in my hand, 15 songs right in my hand, you know. And I was so shocked that the audience didn't walk out after Carole King and James Taylor that my voice went up an octave. I sang like a bird, you know, really high because I was so nervous.
What comes from the audience when you walk out in that blackness and just, you know that?
Well, I must say, anytime that I've done a concert, I mean, after I've hit the stage and gotten over my initial panic, you know, that they're all going to boo me or walk out or something, I do feel an enormous amount of love. You cannot fool the public. I mean, I learned that in the theater, you know. They sense a false note. They know the truth. So they are the greatest barometer of the truth, and I have great respect for audiences.
Judy Garland, who also made A Star Is Born, the woman who worked so hard and who destroyed herself, partially because it was Hollywood, partially because it was the world. That could never happen to you.
Well, I hope you're right. But this, you know, our film is about the pressures of the business and how it can ruin your life, and you have to be very strong to withstand the pressures.
How do you withstand it?
I live here.
What does it do for you living here?
It's away from it all. I don't hear any traffic sounds. I don't answer the phone much on the weekends, you know. I do my little gardening, or I take walks or ride a bike. And
a very private, very quiet life.
Very, yeah.
I heard once that you said that John is sort of happiest with you when you're in the kitchen, you know. Yeah?
Like all men.
No, but that's not true either. I like...
Wait a minute. You know, is that the role he really...
No, it's not really the role, but yes, I mean, I think, you know, it's a personal thing. I mean, you cook something, you make it with your own hands, and it becomes part of his body. I mean, it's a very organic thing to cook for somebody and have them eat it, don't you think?
Do you love him?
Well, of course I love him.
Why don't you marry him?
Well, that'll come.
And, you know, I sit here, I know what I sound like, but I sit there watching you. You're living together. I know it. But, I mean, it's been 3 years. Why don't you get married?
No, actually, I'm waiting for her to ask me.
Well, here we are.
Like in the movie.
I've asked her about 3 times, but she turned me down.
What do you tell you? You've got a 10-year-old Jason, your son, and your boy, Chris, is 8. Do you ever have to explain to them why you weren't married? Is it something that ever comes up? Is it something that ever
They're children of a new generation.
You know, and children look to see what you feel about each other. Oops. I'm sorry.
What?
I interrupted.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, I think the children, our kids, the children, they look to see where you are with each other. They don't check to see if you got a piece of paper.
Where are you with each other now? Is it good?
Today?
Right this second?
Right this second, yeah.
Yeah, today is good.
Do you want to make other films together?
Yeah, I think we work together quite well, you know, and
In between all the fights.
in between the fighting, she's, you know, we stimulate each other. I'm going to do another film next year for Columbia that's separate from Barbra. But
You're gonna miss me, honey.
But we'll be working together, you know. I feel almost more creative working with her.
Are you afraid that if you make a film without her and it doesn't make it, that people will say, yeah, well, you see, you can only do it with Streisand?
No, because I have a great deal of confidence in myself.
They'll probably say that, though.
Don't think
I'll tell you what's wonderful about, you know, why you're good for me, why I'm good for you, is because he is a very positive person. You know, he deals...
I mean, I never set out to kill, you know.
He deals out of positive vibrations. I've been very Jewish in that respect, you know, very negative. Oh, don't talk about it. Oh, and it's not going to be too good. I hope they'll like the film, you know. And people saying, oh, it's a terrific film. And I go, wait, you know, maybe they'll hate it.
This film opens very soon. Are you scared?
Oh, yeah. Every time I go to watch a screening of it, I mean, I think I'm going to die, you know, of palpitations. And,
do you think what will happen if it doesn't make it?
Yeah, it would just really be devastating to me.
Right now, at this point in your lives, what worries you the most? If you have anxiety, if you're worried, what is it?
It's just the frightening world we live in today, I think. Our society, you know, the state of the world frightens me.
I hope the movie's a big hit.
Look at the two of you, always fighting. Why can't you get along? Tell me something as I look at you here. Tell me something. How do you see yourself, both of you, 40 years from now?
You want to choose who goes first? I'll take odds.
I see myself very wrinkled. No. I hope we're together.
How do you see it? What's your picture?
Oh, I can't. Well, John, you always said that you can't wait for us to get old. I keep saying, no, I want to stay young. He says, no, he looks forward to old age, right? Mm-hmm. To just not working and doing all the things we don't have time to do now and be with our children. Well, they won't want to be with us, though. But,
are you together?
Yeah, I think so. I think nobody else would have us.
That's great. You're absolutely right.
Barbra Streisand and Chris Christopherson singing her music from A Star Is Born. Barbra Streisand and Jon Peters, as of tonight, they're still together.
Spirits rise, and their dances on rivers. They warm and excite us, 'cause we are so bright and bright. Two lights that shine, morning glory and midnight sun. Time we've learned to sail above. Time won't change the meaning of one. Ageless and ever,
Well, I'd say that was real pretty beautiful. I'm sorry I messed you
That
up.
was a great ending. Are you kidding me?
How can it not be a good ending with a voice like that? You know...